So they finally said who it was.
Oh, the boy went to the wrong house?
A white man in his 80s is the individual who apparently shot and seriously wounded Ralph Yarl, a black teen, on April 13th in Kansas City, Missouri, according to a CNN review of property records, police statements, and detention records. CNN is not naming the man at this time, given he has not been charged. Two representatives at the Kansas City Police Department Detention Unit read the man's booking information to CNN over the phone. They confirmed the man who was booked on investigation hold was a white man in his 80s, and his home address matches the address where the shooting took place. The representatives also noted he was taken into custody on April 13th, just before midnight, and was released less than 2 hours later at 1:24. Now, do you think because the young man didn't pass away, that's probably why
because he didn't take his life?
If he would have passed away, it would have been hell if they would have let that man go.
He injured him.
The representatives also noted he was taken into custody. Oh, okay. Property records and neighbor who spoke on CNN confirmed the man and his wife are the homeowners living in the shooting location.
Kansas City.
So what are we doing here? Are we saying do we want to hear more of the story, or are we going to get mad that this man shot him? Because they protesting now.
Well, I wanted to know what was the boy doing at the house.
Well, he was picking up his siblings. He went to the wrong house.
Oh.
Officers responded to a home on April 13th, just before 10 p.m. after receiving reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they found Ralph, 16, who had been shot outside the residence by the homeowner. Ralph was shot twice and struck in the head and arm.
Why?
And he lived. Can you imagine that?
So I'm wondering, if he came to the house, did he make it to the door to ask?
Probably not.
Or did they shoot him before he got to the door, being afraid that he could be trying to come steal from them?
Well, let's go on. It says Ralph was released from the hospital on Sunday, according to a report. Kansas City Star, citing an interview with the teen's father. He continues to improve. He's responsive and he's making good progress. That man better thank God that boy lived. Yeah. After spending 3 nights in the hospital, Ralph is recovering at home, being cared for by his mother, who is a nurse.
Oh, okay.
That helped too, I bet. Family attorney Ben Crump.
He's on this one.
Oh, Lord.
I wish he was on the Shakira. What's her name?
He was. Is he still not on that?
That black lady was sitting in on the.
I think he jumps in the beginning of stuff to get people to talk, that get the thing.
You
ball
don't think
rolling.
He carries it through all the way to the end?
Unless that's his law firm, and then he just gets somebody else to do the case.
Okay.
Family attorney Ben Crump claimed the shooting was a racial profiling incident in an interview. That's what I'm saying. I got to hear what's going on here.
Did he threaten that man in any kind of way?
We have been informed by his family that it was a white man who shot the 16-year-old, explaining that he believes the teen was shot. See, you gotta not just say somebody was shot because they was black.
Right.
You give me something else here.
What did he do? What did he say? How was his body
language?
It
is incompatible not to observe the racial dynamics here, said Crump. If the roles were reversed, he continued, how much outrage would there be in America? Well, we already know there would be outrage, but I don't want us to play the black card every time we get a chance to.
Exactly.
At a weekend rally, community and family members marched to demonstrate in front of the man's house, calling the charges to be filed. Protesters marched as they chanted "Justice for Ralph," "Black Lives Matter," and carried signs reading, "Ringing a doorbell is not a crime." I agree with that.
Yeah.
And the shooter should do the time. I agree he should be charged. If the boy walked up and rang the doorbell and he shot him, absolutely you get charged.
Thank you.
Because what if I'm somebody delivering a pizza to the wrong house?
Thank you.
You just gonna shoot everybody that come to the house? It
could have been like what we do, door dashing.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
And you've gone to the wrong house.
To the wrong house on door dashing. The guy came out. It was a white guy. He came out and he said, "I'm over here." And I went, "Oh, I'm at the wrong house."
Now they could have shot you if it was this 80-year-old man.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
At a weekend rally, community and family members marched and demonstrated in front of the man's house. The man, 80 years old. They probably gonna give him a heart attack.
Oh.
Ringing the doorbell is not a crime. The shooter should do the time.
Okay.
Who came up with that? The teen's father said, we want charges. That's what we want. Mama almost said, would you shoot somebody, Mom, if they came to the door?
Oh, gosh. That's why maybe I'm praying that the boy gets more stronger where he can tell his side of the story.
Yeah, we want to hear what happened.
Because
on face value, it does seem like it's racial. Like this black boy came up to my door.
Right.
I don't know who he is.
You didn't have any
and if
of the
he's
details.
80, you already know he's in that age group.
Yeah.
Where he's probably already thinking, oh my God.
A young black boy intimidates me.
And this man was in the Jim Crow law days. So he know.
And who's to say he didn't do any shootings back then?
Yeah. So I don't know. We got to find out what happened, but definitely should be charged. I definitely think he should be charged.
Yeah.
Now, found innocent and all that stuff, we have to hear what happened.
But
why is he not, why did they not book him and charge him for shooting somebody that just came to the door?
Because they do that to cops. When cops use their guns, they have to be sat down until the investigation because they use their firearm. So if that happens to a law enforcer, why wouldn't it not happen to any of us if we use our gun?
Well, let's hear what happened here. Emerging details. See, that's what we need to hear. A neighbor who asked not to be identified, because she probably don't want to be shot by that man either, tells CNN. He come over and did you tell on me?
I heard it.
You told on me.
Wrong news.
So don't say who I am. A neighbor who asked not to be identified.
They always be in the silhouette when you see them on the new TV. They don't want to be, and they voice be weird.
Tell CNN she called 911 after Ralph came to her door bleeding. She was directed to stay inside her home by the emergency operator for her safety as the shooter's location was unknown. I wanted to help him, but they kept saying that we don't know where the shooter is. Wow. She complied initially, then went outside with towels to help suppress the bleeding.
That's what we would have done.
That's what you're if she would have listened to the 911 operator, he would have died.
You know what, they were probably on the other.
I understand what they're saying.
The other side of this,
it could be a gang member chasing after him,
and they've done that. They've been injured, coming to the house saying, "Help me, ma'am, help me," and you come help, and then the shooter's still out there.
And Mama I remember at this other house we was in, it wasn't a good neighborhood. Remember, Mom? That one little Latino boy was running from somebody. It was a gang was chasing him. Yeah, and he ran. Mama was on the porch, and he ran. He looked at her, and then he kept running to go to the back of our house.
I told him where to go.
Yeah, she told him go back, and then the gang members went by. So they probably was thinking, oh, he ain't go where that black lady is, and that's where he was. You saved him, Ma.
And he could have been the bad one.
I know.
Usually gang after gang.
He could have shot somebody.
Both sides is bad.
Thank you. And he running in the back of our yard.
Okay. Or unless you don't have time to sit and listen to their story. They trying to recruit me, and I don't want to be in the gang.
But she said initially she listened, but then she didn't, and she went outside to help him. She knows how to stop the bleeding. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all.
That's a beautiful thing that
if you don't know how to do it, you will. A lot of times the injuries won't kill you. It's the bleeding. So anytime you got to stop the bleeding, you got to put pressure. Right. You got to lift up.
So he won't lose a lot of blood.
All that. You got to cut off the artery.
It's so sad.
Not cut the hair, but use a belt or something to cut that flow from going.
It's so sad, though, because when they were saying they couldn't locate the shooter, they probably wasn't even thinking that it was the person in the house.
That old man next door. She said, I kneeled down next to him and said, what's your name? Who shot you? She said, Ralph explained he was supposed to pick up my brothers. We figured out then he went to the wrong street, which is no excuse for what happened, she said. This is somebody's child. I had to clean blood off my door, off my railing. That was someone's child's blood. I'm a mom. This is not okay. While awaiting for the ambulance, bleeding from injuries to the left side of his head and his right arm, the neighbor said Ralph told her he runs on the high school's track team and plays bass clarinet in the band. He was very alert, she said. He is a very strong man, very
brave. That is beautiful.
And that probably was a white lady that helped him.
That's
what I'm saying. You can't say everybody white is bad. You can't say everybody
black
is bad.
Darn it. Why did that man shoot him?
Because let's just guess.
And then he's a gun owner. That's one reason why I'm so concerned. Everybody don't need a gun.
Well,
everybody don't, because you be boom, boom, boom. Everybody come in your house. Boom, 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 boom. Uncle Fred is your cousin.
Right. Well, remember Grandma was trying to shoot everybody that came to her house.
That was an episode. I'm old school.
We had to get rid of her gun.
That was the episode on Golden Girls. When they had gotten robbed, and Betty Davis, Lord, Betty White's character, Rose, was so nervous, couldn't sleep. She bought a gun for the house. Yeah. And she got nervous when they heard what's the name? The one that always sleep with everybody, coming in with a late guy with
Eunice, Gladys,
whatever her name was, and she was coming, and then Rose came out and just started shooting. And she missed her and shot one of the vases on the floor. And that's when
they said we got to take
one that played Maud.
Yeah,
her Dorothy. She said,
you got to take that gun.
You ain't keeping no gun in this house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I think happened was, and we don't know. Again, if it's just a case of him walking up to the door, ringing the doorbell, there is no excuse for that man. I don't care how old he is.
And that's the boy right there.
Yeah.
He don't look like he's a threat.
There's no excuse.
He's not even a big guy.
For him to do that, to fire on this boy for having the wrong address. Now, if he's coming up to the house and he's looking in the windows and he's trying to lift it up or try to, that's scared. Different. Because scared. Now I'm scared. Did he walk around the house? Did he go to the back of the house first? If all of this plays
like he may have
into
rang the doorbell and nobody answering. So he wanted to see if they were in there.
So now he's looking in the windows. He's going around the back. If all of that happened, yes, I can understand why I would shoot you. Because I'm just saying. Yeah, I'll shoot you too.
Think about it.
Yeah, because I'm not giving you no chance to get in my house.
I told you that when we lived in my mom's house, the guy was climbing in the window.
Thank you. Not giving you that chance.
He climbing in our kitchen window. Right. And I was waiting for him to come in.
And there's no reason.
And I pointed the gun at him.
And there's no reason to walk around the back of somebody's house or look in their windows.
Yeah, it was purposely in our backyard coming into our house.
Now, I would understand that. Okay. And I'm not an old white man. Yeah. And it don't matter what color they are. I would still shoot. White, black,
Other than that, if he did a normal walk up to the door. If he just
walked up to the house.
Rang the doorbell.
And the man
opens the door.
And shot him. There is no excuse for that. And I agree. I agree with Ben Crump then. It is totally 100% racist.
Yeah.
Because would he have done that if that was a young white boy who had rang his doorbell?
Wow. Have they talked to this guy?
We don't know. And that's the other thing.
They need to question
was he not booked and questioned?
Yeah, they let him go right away.
They let him go too fast. And I don't know if it's because this boy didn't die. Maybe that's why.
But I thought, okay, you guys help me with the law. I thought the person had to be in your home for you to use your firearm.
I thought you told me
because somebody said I'll shoot him in the yard and drag him in.
Depends on the state, because stand your ground state, you could be anywhere. You could stand your ground. You could be anywhere,
my yard, my driveway, okay.
I could be anywhere.
Because I thought they had to be in your home.
Right. No, that's what the Trayvon Martin in that state. It was stand your ground.
Okay, what state is this?
Kansas. It says Kansas City,
The
Missouri.
mayor, she spoke up and said that she understands because the outrage.
Yes.
And she said she said I definitely understand people's feelings towards this, and they're looking into it.
We got to look into
investigate.
We got to investigate. And the boy is alive, so he can say, did I go around the house? Did I look in the window?
Let's hope.
That's just
that he's honest like that.
This is my prayer.
I don't want two stories.
This is my prayer. Because I don't want another racial. I'm hoping that this man was not some 80-year-old racist. I'm hoping that this little boy says, I didn't know I was at the wrong house, and I was ringing the doorbell.
And nobody answered.
Nobody answered. I knew my brothers and sisters was there, so I started looking in the windows.
Yeah.
I went around the back, and I came around back to the front, and I was banging or knocking on the door, hard banging, because like I know y'all in there. And then this man just opened the door and shot me. I wanted to be that story versus I literally walked up to the door, rang the doorbell like a pizza man, and he opened the door and shot me.
Yes. Thank you. That we don't want that answer.
And he's 80. That doesn't help.
Okay.
It doesn't help that he's 80.
Like for some reason,
and he's white.
80, 70, 80, 90 years old takes me back to my mom's
Thank
days
you.
when he had to deal with racism.
This is the age. This is the age where there was a separation between black people and white people.
This is the age where he called black people colored or the N-word.
Or maybe he was nice. Maybe he wasn't a racist and he's 80.
Yes, hope not.
We don't know this man.
Okay.
We need to know who this man. How about who this man? We need to know this man.
So we'll be praying for this little boy.
Does he have a history of racism?
Yeah.
Does he have a history of firing his?
Has he used that gun before?
You know, other than this boy being in the band and running for track, is he ever gotten in any trouble? I'm sure he hasn't.
Him down now as a student. I don't like that.
All right. Okay. Wendy says, hello, darlings. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
M. Perk says, hi, ladies. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Wendy says, does he feel any remorse for shooting him?
We don't know.
That's what we got to find out.
Very good question.
And now everybody's saying hi to each other.
Okay.
All right. So let's find out. I'm not getting out. Y'all don't see me picking in for hardly anything. I'm not picking in for nothing until I know.
You got to hear the details.
I got to hear.
Because sometimes the very people who get up in front of the cameras when their loved ones lives have been taken, they quick to go the blame. Yeah. And it could be their child was the one that acted crazy.
And everybody on the block wanted your child to get knocked off. Right. Because he's a troublemaker.
Yes, he's a baby kid.
But this guy apparently is a band player. And then for him to tell the lady that while she's helping him.
She maybe wanted to talk so he wouldn't
he wouldn't go. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
Stop the bleeding and also keep the person alert.
Right.
Maybe try to talk to him and so where are you from? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
School, young man.
Try to find out what happened, like she did. Who shot you?
I played a violin and I also run track.
And isn't it somehow God sent him to that lady's house?
Yes, because she didn't have to help. But you know what? I don't know what kind of training your 911 people need to know, though, because...
No, you said that they tell them don't go out there because the shooter's still out there.
I would not listen to them.
I don't know.
We're vigilantes. Remember, we've been known to chase people with our own cars.
But I probably would have pulled them in the house. I wouldn't have stood out there.
Oh, you wouldn't have been on the porch.
No, I wouldn't.
But then I'll be afraid to move them.
No, you can move them.
You think?
Yeah, you can move him. He didn't walk over there. He didn't move enough. Okay. I think what I would do is I would have pulled him in the house
for safety,
just in case the shooter's still out there.
Right, make sure because they may want to
come there. They see you pulling him in the house
that he's still alive. You know, if it's gang related, they're trying to take his life. They still see him moving, and and you may get crossfire from shooting.
So I would pull him in the house, and then I would say, "Go get the gun." Because if somebody try to come over here and get him, they got to go through all of us.
Okay.
And I'm shooting anybody that come in the yard. I don't care if it's the neighbor across the street coming over to see what's going on. What's going on? Do one more
get off my land.
So
get off my land.
Because in this case, it was the neighbor who shot him. Yeah. If the 80-year-old man was coming over there, I'd be like, Bob, stay where you are. I'm just coming over to help. No, Bob, I don't know. You could be the shooter.
That's true.
Nobody comes over here.
That's true.
Until the police get here.
Oh, that's a lesson this boy learned. The wrong house.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Kansas City.
His life would have been taken.
All right, so that's it. That's that story.
That's a good story.
Judge prepares for start of the Dominion versus Fox trial amid settlement talks. Now, you know these people with these voting machines, the Dominion voting machines, they're suing Fox for billions of dollars.
Yes, they lost a lot of
what we
credibility and money, right?
What we think is getting ready to happen is Fox is trying to stall by saying, oh, we may do a settlement or whatever. So the judge is getting tired of it. He's like, we starting this trial. I'm not hearing no more about y'all in this settlement stuff. On Monday morning, in a hearing that barely lasted a few minutes, Davis told the